In the vast expanse of the world's oceans, naval warfare has witnessed the rise of numerous strategies and tactics over the centuries. One such innovative and formidable approach that left an indelible mark on naval history is the Wolfpack tactic. Developed during the tumultuous times of World War II, the Wolfpack tactic revolutionized submarine warfare and showcased the strategic prowess of naval commanders. This narrative explores the intricate details of the development, refinement, and implementation of the Wolfpack tactic, illustrating its impact on maritime conflict. The Wolfpack tactic emerged in the early 1940s, during the height of World War II, when German U-boats sought to disrupt Allied shipping lanes. The Germans recognized the limitations of deploying submarines individually and envisioned a more coordinated and lethal approach. Thus, the concept of the Wolfpack was born, a group of submarines operating together to maximize their effectiveness. The development of the Wolfpack tactic was rooted in the lessons learned from the early stages of the war. German U-boats, operating individually, faced challenges in terms of efficiency and survivability. Allied convoys, equipped with advanced anti-submarine warfare (ASW) technologies, proved to be formidable adversaries. The need for a more organized and collaborative approach led to the strategic innovation of the Wolfpack. The successful execution of the Wolfpack tactic hinged on precise coordination and communication among the submarine commanders. German naval officers devised a sophisticated system for orchestrating these underwater hunters. Each Wolfpack comprised multiple U-boats under the command of an experienced and skilled officer, often referred to as the Wolfpack commander. Communication was a critical component, and the Germans developed encrypted radio communication systems to ensure secure and efficient exchanges of information among the U-boats. This allowed the Wolfpack to function as a cohesive unit, adapting to the ever-changing conditions of the vast ocean theater. Command structure. The Wolfpacks were typically led by a senior U-boat commander who would coordinate the actions of the group. This commander would be responsible for selecting targets, assigning positions within the pack, and issuing orders during engagements. Each U-boat within the Wolfpack would maintain communication with the lead boat to receive orders and relay information. Coordination and communication. Communication among U-boats was typically done through radio transmissions. However, radio silence was often maintained to avoid detection by Allied forces. When radio silence was in effect, U-boats would rely on pre-arranged rendezvous points and signals, such as visual signals, for example, signal lamps, or use encrypted radio communications to avoid interception. Tactical maneuvers. The Wolfpack would often spread out over a large area of ocean to increase the chances of detecting enemy convoys. Once a target was located, the lead U-boat would typically engage the convoy and report its position to other U-boats in the pack. Other U-boats would then move to intercept the convoy, taking advantage of the confusion and distraction caused by the initial attack. U-boats would coordinate their attacks to maximize the effectiveness of torpedoes and minimize the chances of detection by enemy escorts. Flexibility and adaptation. The composition and tactics of Wolfpacks could vary depending on factors such as the size and speed of the convoy, weather conditions, and the presence of enemy escorts. U-boat commanders had to be flexible and adapt their tactics on the fly to take advantage of opportunities and overcome obstacles. The Wolfpack tactic was not a one-size-fits-all strategy. Its success depended on careful planning, strategic positioning, and adaptability to the evolving naval landscape. German naval commanders studied the patterns of Allied convoy routes, identifying key areas where Wolfpacks could capitalize on vulnerabilities. Timing was crucial. Wolfpacks often laid in wait, submerged beneath the waves, ready to strike when an unsuspecting convoy entered their calculated kill zone. This strategic patience required discipline and a deep understanding of the ebb and flow of naval operations. The effectiveness of the Wolfpack tactic was further enhanced by technological advancements in submarine design and weaponry. German U-boats were equipped with more advanced torpedoes, increased range, and improved targeting systems. These innovations allowed Wolfpacks to engage convoys from greater distances and with higher accuracy. The use of sonar and hydrophones played a pivotal role in detecting enemy vessels. Silent running capabilities became a hallmark of U-boats, enabling them to stalk their prey stealthily. As the technology improved, so did the lethality of the Wolfpacks, turning them into formidable adversaries on the high seas. A key point to take from this is the term silent running, which pioneered a lot of technology used in future submarine design, and this is how they achieved it. 1. Electric motors. U-boats were equipped with electric motors for silent propulsion when submerged. These motors were powered by batteries, allowing the submarine to operate without generating engine noise. Electric propulsion was much quieter than diesel engines used for surface propulsion. 2. Hydrodynamic design. U-boats were designed with sleek, hydrodynamic shapes to minimize water resistance and reduce the production of noise caused by turbulence as they moved through the water. 3. Soundproofing. U-boats were equipped with soundproofing materials to dampen internal noise, particularly from machinery and crew activities. This helped minimize the transmission of noise through the hull, making it harder for enemy vessels to detect them using passive sonar. 4. Reduced speeds. When operating in silent running mode, U-boats often operated at reduced speeds to further minimize noise production. Slower speeds reduced the cavitation effect around the propellers, which could generate significant noise. 5. Training and discipline. Crew discipline and training were crucial for maintaining silent running. Crew members were trained to minimize unnecessary noise and to operate equipment as quietly as possible. Strict protocols were in place to ensure that crew members understood the importance of maintaining silence during critical operations. 6. Acoustic detection equipment. U-boats were equipped with hydrophones and other acoustic detection equipment to listen for the sounds of approaching enemy vessels. This allowed them to detect and evade threats while remaining in silent running mode. The Wolfpack tactic posed a significant threat to Allied forces, disrupting supply lines and causing substantial losses. The Wolfpack tactic employed by German U-boats during World War II had a significant impact on Allied shipping, particularly during the Battle of the Atlantic. Here are some key impacts. 1. Disruption of supply lines. Wolfpack attacks caused significant disruption to Allied supply lines, particularly between North America and Europe. These attacks threatened the flow of vital supplies and reinforcements to the Allied war effort. 2. Loss of merchant shipping. The coordinated attacks by U-boat Wolfpacks resulted in the sinking of numerous Allied merchant ships. These losses not only affected the immediate supply situation, but also had long-term economic repercussions for the Allies. 3. Forced changes in convoy tactics. The threat posed by Wolfpacks forced the Allies to adapt their convoy tactics. Measures such as increased naval escort, improved anti-submarine warfare techniques, and the introduction of convoying systems like the escort carrier or jeep carrier helped mitigate losses. 4. Increased naval resources. Dealing with the U-boat threat required the allocation of significant naval resources by the Allies. This included the construction of more escort vessels, the development of new anti-submarine warfare technologies, and the deployment of long-range patrol aircraft. 5. Psychological impact. The success of Wolfpack tactics had a psychological impact on both Allied sailors and civilians. The sinking of merchant ships and the loss of life at sea caused fear and anxiety, particularly among those involved in transatlantic shipping. 6. Strategic importance. Control of the Atlantic shipping lanes was crucial for the Allies to sustain their war effort in Europe. The threat posed by German Wolfpacks necessitated constant vigilance and strategic planning to ensure the safe passage of vital supplies and reinforcements. Overall, the Wolfpack tactic employed by German U-boats significantly challenged Allied efforts to maintain their maritime supply lines during World War II, contributing to the intensity and complexity of the Battle of the Atlantic. The Battle of the Atlantic became a crucible for the Wolfpack tactic, with German U-boats aiming to cut off the lifeline of supplies flowing from North America to Europe. The Battle of the Atlantic became a crucible for the Wolfpack tactic, with German U-boats aiming to cut off the lifeline of supplies flowing from North America to Europe. The strategic balance teetered back and forth as both sides sought to outwit each other in this deadly game beneath the waves. Recognizing the menace posed by the Wolfpacks, the Allies implemented a multifaceted approach to neutralize the threat. Improved sonar technology, depth charges, and airborne anti-submarine patrols were integral components of the Allied countermeasures. Convoy escorts became more adept at detecting and repelling submarine attacks. Countermeasures 1. Increased naval escort. One of the primary countermeasures was to increase the naval escort for convoys. This involved deploying more warships, such as destroyers, frigates, corvettes, and escort carriers, to protect merchant vessels from submarine attacks. These escorts provided both defensive firepower and anti-submarine capabilities. 2. Improved anti-submarine warfare, ASW, tactics. The Allies developed and refined ASW tactics to better detect, track, and destroy enemy submarines. This included the use of depth charges, hedgehog mortars, and later in the war, more advanced weapons like depth charge projectors and head-throwing weapons such as the Squid mortar. 3. Air support aircraft, particularly long-range patrol planes like the PBY Catalina and B-24 Liberator, played a significant role in hunting and attacking enemy submarines. Air patrols could cover large areas of ocean, increasing the chances of detecting and engaging U-boats before they could launch attacks on convoys. 4. Sonar technology. Advances in sonar technology allowed Allied ships and aircraft to detect submarines more effectively. Sonar-equipped vessels could detect the presence of submarines by listening for their engine noise or the sounds of their propellers. 5. Convoy tactics. Convoy tactics were refined to make it more difficult for U-boats to attack. Tactics included zigzagging courses, varying speeds within the convoy, and arranging ships in defensive formations. Convoy escorts would also use coordinated attacks to deter or destroy U-boats attempting to penetrate the convoy's defenses. 6. Decoy ships. Decoy ships, also known as Q-ships, were merchant vessels armed with concealed weapons and disguised as easy targets. When attacked, these ships would reveal their armament and attempt to engage and destroy the U-boat. 7. Intelligence and code breaking. Allied efforts in code breaking, particularly the decryption of German Enigma machine messages, provided valuable intelligence about U-boat movements and tactics. This allowed convoys to be rerouted away from known Wolfpack locations or to be provided with additional escort support when needed. 8. Offensive operations. In addition to defensive measures, the Allies also conducted offensive operations to destroy U-boats and disrupt their operations. This included deploying hunter-killer groups composed of surface ships and aircraft specifically tasked with locating and attacking enemy submarines. As the Battle of the Atlantic raged on, the Allies developed new tactics and technologies to turn the tide in their favor. Long-range aircraft, equipped with radar and powerful sonar, became instrumental in locating and engaging U-boats before they could reach their intended targets. The cat-and-mouse game beneath the surface of the ocean reached unprecedented levels of sophistication. While the Wolfpack tactic enjoyed initial success, the balance of power gradually shifted in favor of the Allies. As the war progressed, improved intelligence, code-breaking efforts, and the sheer industrial might of the Allied nations took a toll on the German submarine fleet. The once feared Wolfpacks found themselves increasingly vulnerable to the evolving Allied countermeasures. The turning point came with the breaking of German naval codes, providing the Allies with crucial information about the location and intentions of Wolfpacks. Convoy escorts were then able to reroute convoys away from known submarine concentrations, avoiding potential ambushes. The decline of the Wolfpack tactic also stemmed from the sheer attrition suffered by the German U-boats. As the Allies sank more and more submarines, the ability to sustain large, coordinated Wolfpack operations diminished. By the war's end, the once dominant tactic had lost much of its effectiveness. Despite its ultimate decline, the Wolfpack tactic left an enduring legacy in naval warfare. The lessons learned from the intense submarine warfare of World War II influenced subsequent generations of naval strategists. The importance of coordination, communication, and technological innovation became ingrained in naval doctrines worldwide. Post-war analyses of the Wolfpack tactic influenced the development of anti-submarine warfare strategies during the Cold War and beyond. Navies around the world incorporated the hard-earned lessons from the Battle of the Atlantic into their training and operational procedures, ensuring a more comprehensive and adaptive response to underwater threats. The Wolfpack tactic stands as a testament to the dynamic nature of naval warfare and the relentless pursuit of strategic advantage. From its humble origins in the early 1940s to its role as a formidable force in the Battle of the Atlantic, the Wolfpack tactic exemplifies the capacity for innovation and adaptation in the face of evolving challenges. As naval forces continue to navigate the vast expanses of the world's oceans, the legacy of the Wolfpack tactic remains relevant. Its impact on submarine warfare, strategic planning, and technological development echoes through the corridors of naval history, a reminder of the ingenuity and determination displayed by those who sought to control the seas.